Merry Christmas. The Sixers have won 8 straight games after spoiling Christmas for the Knicks at the Garden. We'll break down the brilliance of James Harden, Joel Embiid, and the rest. All that and more coming up on Philly Take with RB.
Perfect.
What is going on, everyone? RB here. Welcome into the show. You know what to do. Hit the like button. Subscribe for more content. Be sure to hit that bell so you don't miss any of the videos or live streams. We're live for every game, and it was a lot of fun yesterday hanging out and watching the Sixers erase yet another huge deficit. Down 14 yesterday. They come back. They seal it on the road on Christmas, making those Knicks fans upset. The Sixers get it done 119-112 at Madison Square Garden. And we have now pushed our win streak to 8 games. We had 7 in a row at home. We go on the road, and it carries over. First game of a 4-game road trip. It was a lot of fun, man. Seeing the way these boys battled, the way they pulled through, the way they came back. We're going to talk about what has made this team so brilliant on this win streak and yesterday as well. And I think there's higher volumes to be spoken, not just about yesterday's game or the game before, but in general, how this team has finally come together. But we start off with the main guys, right? The stat lines, the anchors of this team, the guys who are going to pull us through. Joel Embiid and James Harden, once again, playing monstrous games. I mean, they're so dominant together. It has been unstoppable. Joel Embiid goes into the Garden, 35 points, 8 rebounds on Christmas. How about James Harden, 29 points and 13 assists? When these two are playing this way, I don't know anybody that can really put a stop to us. And here's Joel Embiid. A little fun clip here on Christmas as the Sixers went on a 21-4 run. Yes, that's what the Sixers do. They don't panic when they go down anymore. They don't panic. They come back and they go on a 21-4 run in the fourth quarter. Look at Joel James. Look at Joel and James, man, having fun. How about Daryl Morey after the game? Little bit of a troll job here on Twitter. Daryl Morey says, "Bing bong." And how about James Harden with this outfit at the post-game presser? Shout out to James, man. He's been absolutely killing it, doing his thing. This team has been special. And, I mean, we could talk about this game yesterday. We could break it down. Essentially what happened is exactly the same as the game before. Sixers were down 20 to the Clippers. They come back, they fight, they get back to what works. Yesterday they come out lethargic. They look like they ate too many of Santa's cookies. And then after the first quarter, after the second quarter, they regroup. Somehow it was only a 3-point game at halftime. They shoot the ball well. And they get back to what works, which we are going to break down. The 2-man game and how brilliant it has been with Joel Embiid and James Harden. But we stepped it up on the defensive end. Julius Randle had a great game, 35 points. But other than that, the Sixers, who have had one of the best defenses in the league this year, stood up to the task and shut them down. And the Knicks went on a cold stretch there in the fourth quarter. The Sixers went on a 21-4 run, and it was over after that. We got some resemblance of the old James Harden. We saw Joel Embiid finally hit that realization point. I feel like every game I say there's a realization moment where Joel Embiid says, "Oh, I am the most dominant player in the league. Nobody can stop me." And that's what he does. And that 2-man game is virtually unstoppable. So that's what happened. And, you know, a couple other big shots, big guys stepping up like George Niang. You know, I mean, if George Niang had a shot in the fourth quarter and my life depended on it, I honestly might trust George Niang to hit that shot. I mean, he hits the biggest of the biggest shots. He doesn't hesitate. He actually missed a couple in a row, comes back, and he knocks down 2 big shots. That is what we needed. We needed guys, role players, to step up and shine in their roles. And even though Tobias and PJ didn't even have effective games, we still won this game because of how dominant the James Harden, Joel Embiid 2-man game can be. And again, Niang with 16 off the bench was absolutely huge. Melton was 5 for 5 at one point from deep. And overall, look at this right here. I mean, the Sixers shooting 46% from 3. That is a formula for success. Here's what James Harden did yesterday. The only Sixer all time with 25 points and 10 assists on Christmas Day. James Harden's out here diming people up left and right. We've never had a point guard like this who can bring it all together. He has been special. He is healthy again. He's feeling good, and he's clicking on all cylinders, man. It has been special to watch. And here's James Harden over the last 2 games. 2 big comebacks by the Sixers. Big part, of James Harden leading the charge, leading the way back. And here's what James Harden did. 34 assists, and 4 turnovers. He has been one of the best point guards in the league this year. The Sixers have not had a point guard like this on their roster. And look at this. James Harden leading the NBA in assists, 10.9 per game. Now, he's also leading the league in minutes per game, 37.8, which is a concern. He had to play 43 minutes yesterday. He played the whole second half, which if he wasn't in shape, if he wasn't healthy, he would not have been able to do. That is definitely something to watch. But James Harden has been slicing up defenses, and it's been special. And here's a tweet from me yesterday. Speaking about this game, obviously, again, it was a great win, but in totality, when you look at this team overall, we're now sitting at 20-12. We have turned the corner. We figured it out. We're one of the hottest teams in the league. It just really amazes me how people were so, quick to say, oh, James Harden's done. Oh, Joel Embiid's like, these two are special players. Joel Embiid is one of the most special players in the league, and we have to be grateful for him and what he's able to do. It's on a nightly basis now. It's 35 points, 44 points. It's so easy. The game comes easy to him. He can just turn it on whenever he wants and go out there and dominate. And as for James Harden, I mean, it's crazy, man. He is such a smart player. And when people last year, came at him and threw him away and said, oh, he's done in this, I said, man, look at Chris Paul, for example. Chris Paul got older. His body slowed down, but the guy can adapt his game. Why? Because he has it up here. He has IQ. He's a smart player. James Harden is one of the smartest players I've ever seen with the basketball. When he went out earlier this year, when he got injured, I said, uh-oh, but it wasn't because I thought James Harden can't play anymore. It's, can he stay healthy? Can James Harden and Joel Embiid stay healthy come playoff time? That is the biggest question. They can play together, and they are showing that. And earlier in this season, we saw a lot of your turn, my turn basketball, a lot of isolation. And I give Doc Rivers a lot of credit for this stretch as well, because he's got these boys playing together. We're about to look at some plays that I want to show you, but the way they are coming together on the offensive side of the ball is beautiful to see. It's what Joel Embiid has never had. All these people that blame Joel Embiid for the playoffs the last, get a clue. Joel Embiid has needed this. He's needed another guy. Even though Joel Embiid was banged up last year, he still went out and dominated in the playoffs with 4 different broken parts of his body. He's just needed another guy. James Harden was not healthy last year. If he can stay healthy and we just get this version of James Harden, this team is almost unstoppable. But anyway, let's take a look at some plays, because I want to show you just how brilliant these two have been together. So, as I've been saying, the two-man game with Joel Embiid and James Harden, if it's clicking and if guys are hitting shots, if they're shooting 46% from 3, I don't know how anybody can stop it. So here's James Harden and Joel Embiid. Once again, playing a lot more pick and roll, a lot two-man game. Joel sets a hard screen, and look at Quentin Grimes. He's going to try to fight through, but see how smart James Harden is as a player. He immediately picks up the miscommunication, and he sees Julius Randle a little bit slow to get back. Joel's going to make a quick cut, and Harden goes behind the back. And by that time, Embiid is already passed, and he just goes in and muscles through. But you see, the thing is, that wouldn't have happened with any other point guard. James Harden is so smart. He picks that up immediately. And it's just so, he's out here nonchalantly putting up 15 assists. He could have 20 assists a game if a couple more shots fell. The way he is able to pick apart these defenses is nuts. And it really goes to show that, those two are the most dominant pick and roll duo in the league. I'm just going to say it. Because what do you do as a defense? You know how dominant Joel is. Do you stay back? Do you give James Harden that little mid-range? By the way, James Harden has worked tremendously this past offseason on that mid-range shot and shooting from the elbow with Sam Cassell. So now you can't leave that open. Or do you try to go up, you switch, you bite on it, and then you leave Joel rolling to the basket? Well, that's bad. And then if the other help defender comes over, well, guess what? You're hitting Tobias Harris, you're hitting DeAnthony Melton, or even PJ Tucker in the corner and diming them up for an open 3. There's nothing a defense can do when these 3 are clicking. That's what I mean. If Tobias is shooting this way, if Melton is shooting this way, James Harden's going to pick that up immediately, and there's nothing that they can do. Now look at this play, James Harden, George Niang, and the Sixers are running more creative sets here. This time it's Niang who sets it instead of Joel. And Grimes is going to try to fight through. And once again, look at how smart James Harden is as a guard. He already picked it up. He sees Grimes going to bleed in and try to help. Randall's a little bit confused. He doesn't know whether to drop back. And look at that, one bounce. And again, George Niang is so clutch. And he doesn't hesitate. He doesn't hesitate at all. That is the brilliance of James Harden and this offense. It can be a Tobias Harris pick and pop. It can be a George Niang. By the way, we don't even have Tyrese Maxey back yet. It definitely is a legitimate question as to what we should do when he gets back, and it's something we will talk about. But right now, this Harden-led offense with him and Embiid running that two-man game and everybody else complimenting is just impossible to stop. And this is what we envisioned when I sat here all off season and I said, this is what it's going to be like when it comes together. This is the best roster that Joel Embiid has ever had around him. It just took time for them to click a little bit, to glue together and to get it going and understand where they need to be on the floor. And for Tobias and Melton to take these steps in the offense as well. It just took a little bit of time, but this is what we envision. This two-man game is unstoppable. How about this one? Here's Joel Embiid, right? So Joel Embiid's in the post, and once again, a dilemma for the defense. Do they bleed over? Brunson's like, I don't know. He bites, but then again, it's too late. Joel's too dominant, puts it right up. Everybody was spaced out. The Knicks are scared to bleed in now because the Sixers are shooting so effective. Now, here's another one, and James Harden is very effective with the post entry pass. He's going to get it to Joel at the elbow. Knicks in a zone defense. Look at how the floor is spaced out. You have too many shooters around, and look at PJ Tucker down there. And look, Randall's going to space over, but here's another problem for the defense. Now Joel Embiid is too good of a passer. I've been saying his vision has improved tremendously this year. They're going to try to bleed off Tobias, but before they even think about it, Joel finds PJ on a bounce pass. Boom, and one. There are too many things that this offense can do together. This is why they have clicked. This is why they're winning 8 in a row. And another thing, and the last thing, is that they don't give up anymore. They don't get down on themselves. They're down 20. They're down 14. They fight. They're confident. Once you have a stretch like this, you say to yourself, oh, we're a good team. We can come back. It's a game of runs. We're not worried. We're pushing all the right buttons. We have the right guys in. We have the right guys playing together, and we're just sticking to our core. Yesterday was a pure example of how in the first half we did not play as a unit. And in the second half, we adjusted and we said, okay, let's get back to our core. Let's run the two-man game and get back to what we do well. And we never looked back. This team is special right now if they stay healthy, which is a big if. And they play like this. I don't know many teams that can stop them. But those are just my thoughts. Sixers spoil the Knicks Christmas. A big, big W on Christmas Day. And we've won 8 in a row. Let's keep it rocking. Let's keep it rolling. I'm loving what I'm seeing from everybody. And we needed a stretch like this. And I hope it doesn't stop. I'm loving the high right now. I'm loving the energy of this. Let's keep it rolling against the Wizards on Tuesday. Those are just all my thoughts. Give me all yours down below in the comments section. As always, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And like always, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.